Hey everybody, it's Chris over at Dixieland Farm. And look, if I go like this, I can rock your world. Okay, there we go. I'm here today to show off Lily. Say hello, Lily. Alright, well that's about as much as you're going to get from Lily. I'm going to show off Two-Fer albums. So Two-Fer albums were albums that were put out in the 70s by record companies to resell their catalog. So until the 80s and CDs came along, that's how they resold their catalog. Sometimes people just wore out records. They didn't treat them as well. The equipment wasn't as good. They smoked a lot of pot. They used them as frisbees, whatever. So they re-released multiple albums. So you got a double album, usually two for the price of one. And the most famous one that you all already know is Pink Floyd. A nice pair. So this is Piper at the Gates of Dawn and A Saucer Full of Secrets. So some of these albums were put out because they just were rare to begin with. So they just, when a band became popular, they resold the old catalog. So Piper at the Gates of Dawn, Saucer Full of Secrets. The original was missing 3 songs. They put the songs back on, I believe. Astronomy Damine is different on this one. It's the 8-minute version from Umaguma. I still don't know how to pronounce it. Opposed to the 4-minute studio version. If you got the UK version of this, you got the studio version. You got the correct both of the albums. The claim is that they didn't have the tape because it was not on the original US. Another claim is no, it kind of more reflected their proggy, spacey sound at the time. I don't know. But regardless, great way to get both classic albums. This used to be real cheap to get. I think I paid $3, $5 for this, you know. Nothing. Classic. If you wanted pet sounds, the best way for you to get the pet sounds is the Two-Fer with Carl and the Passions, and you got pet sounds. So another double. You can find this on Discogs right now, and it is the best version of pet sounds you can get. Much better than the Capitol Rainbow. It was all tube cut. I happened to find the single version of that release. They released it single also for a cheaper price. I didn't really want Carl and the Passions, and for a while a lot of people knew, they were hip to the fact that that was the best way to get pet sounds. Probably a lot of people have forgotten that now, so you can find the Two-Fer for nothing on Discogs. Same thing with these. Now these are often the Two-Fers had alternate cover art for whatever reason to appeal to the 70s sensibility. So here's Wild Honey in 2020. I paid $8 for this. I've seen it at shows for $3, and they sound fantastic. Again, you don't get the original cover art, but if you say that the music is the most important thing, the Two-Fers are very welcome. Same thing with Friends and Smiley Smile. Again, the Capitol's pressings from the late 60s sounded like poo, and these don't. They sound fantastic. Epic had their own series, so we got Jeff Beck, Truth and Beckola. Picked this up at a record show for $5, so $2.50 each for those classic albums. And often you get they will kind of put the original cover, but tiny. That's a theme you'll see. Same thing with Spirit. So we got Family That Plays Together and Feedback. Another record show pickup for Peanuts. This one flies under the radar. Best of the Moves. So this is the Moves' first album, and then the second album is a bunch of singles. So the first album, impossible to find here in America, but this, I'm telling you, on Discogs you'll find it for under $10. Sounds fantastic. This thing, I think a lot of people are hip to this now, but real pretty. So this includes SF Sorrow and Parachute. So you get their best albums on a Two-Fer. And much closer to the analog tape than you would buying a reissue. This was cheaper than one reissue of one of those albums. So I picked this up for, I paid some money. I paid $20. So $10 each, an album. That's still a pretty damn good deal if you ask me. A lot of people will say that this doesn't sound good on the Steve Hoffman forums. I think they are wrong. Now, any MCA records with the rainbow and the clouds tend not to sound good. So this is a Track Records MCA pressing, green label there, and you can see it is the Who Sell Out and a quick one. Both hard albums to find in America. This Two-Fer was less than $10, and you can find this all the time on Discogs and eBay for cheap, and you get two of the greatest Who albums that ever was. Creedence Clearwater Revival, all their albums were released by Fantasy as Two-Fers, so you can find and get their catalog very quickly. Basically 3 double sets and you got anything that's important by Creedence. Jazz is not immune, so here is Coltrane, and this includes Trainin' In and Soul Train from Prestige. Definitely a good twofer. And here's my latest one that I got. Charles Mingus, Better Get In Your Soul. This is Mingus and Mingus Dynasty. And there are debates on some of these things that they're cut, not even from the original master tape, but they're actually the original plates. They didn't throw away the plates when they pressed records. They kept them a lot of times. So some say that they're the actual pressing, so it's the same thing as getting a 6i. Other people say that's not true. But the point is, there are a lot of Two-Fers out there if you know that they're out there. There's one for Miles Davis, which has, I think, Relaxin' and Cookin'. There's one out there for Ornette Coleman in his late 60s period on Columbia. There's a lot on Columbia. There's, you know, and again, they're great deals. Pick them up if you see them. If you know about them, you can get them cheap on Discogs, and you can get a lot of records for not a lot of money that sound fantastic. And they're all analog pressing. No digital in the chain at all, because they were pressed in the 70s. So, great value. Now, having said that, they were pressed in the 70s. 70s pressings can go all over the place. They could be thin. They could be, you know, regrinds. There's a lot of stuff that could have happened, or they couldn't have cared, you know. But so far, any of the Two-Fers that I've had all sound pretty damn good. So, that's it, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.